Hey, let's start. Hold on.
I need to tell
Hello,
you this.
y'all.
Georgia.
Hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest Both of Sports webcast, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Aaron, nice to see you.
What's up, Aaron?
And
Hey,
yes,
we're not in prison today.
no, we are not. Not in prison today. Everything should be straight with the landscape, so you should be seeing us like normal on all the platforms. So look, so Patrick, we'll get to y'all beat down of us, and also I'm gonna do something that I don't like to do, and that is give props to Oklahoma. But we'll get to those things in a little bit. Since we're gonna talk about those things in a little bit, is there anything else besides those two games that caught your eye over the week?
Okay, we'll hold that thought because I got to go back and look.
You didn't have your notes ready?
Well, I'm looking at them right now.
Okay.
Give me a second. I got to pull them up. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Oklahoma and Texas game here in a minute.
Yeah, talk about those.
Which is a carousel, right? Texas beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat Alabama. Alabama beat Georgia. Georgia beat Texas. Welcome to the SEC.
Yep, life in the SEC at its best. Absolutely.
I have to put that in there. Oh, yeah. And by the way, every SEC most of every SEC team in the top 25 has more ranked wins than all three of the top ranked in the Big Ten. Just so you know, Ohio State has one ranked win. Indiana has one ranked win, and Oregon has 0. Just so everybody knows, SEC is more dominant. So suck it. All right. So how about Kent State and Akron, dude?
We're going Maction here?
Yeah, we're going to go Maction. Let's just do it. No, I mean, it was a good game. It had to go into overtime, 42-35. So I had to point that one out just a little bit. The one game that I wanted to point out, because I just thought this was just crazy, Navy over South Florida, dude.
Yeah, both of us had picked South Florida to win that game, and Navy put it on them. Well, it was a high-scoring game, but 41 points they scored.
Yeah. What was that other? Dude, huge shout-out to Boston College, man. They came out to play. Man, I mean, their offense was just clicking on almost every drive, dude. So shout out to Boston College to bring it to Georgia Tech and give them everything they didn't want to see. That's for sure. BYU just absolutely murked TCU. Yeah,
so much for that. My division, my conference picks aren't looking that hot right now, but that's okay.
well, hold on. Who did I pick?
You picked
Houston. I beat Houston in that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
How's Houston doing? I don't even know.
They have 2 losses in conference.
Oh, okay.
Still in it.
They still in it?
Yeah.
And I picked Ohio State in the Big Ten, right? I did pick Ohio State, Georgia Tech, in Georgia, and Georgia will not win theirs. Unless Alabama takes a loss to Auburn, but other than that, I mean, that's the only way Georgia gets in the SEC championship is Alabama has to lose to Auburn. Because I don't even think Texas beating Texas Tech would give us that option or that opportunity to get in, which is fine with me. We're going to get a bye and not play in our conference.
You mean A&M?
What'd I say, Tech?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, Texas Tech doing pretty good too. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, but yes, A&M. That's the one I meant. But look, I'm cool with that because Georgia's going to get a bye and not have to play in the conference. Give me the national champ. Give me the natty. Give me the natty. I'll take that. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a stingy SOB because I want conference and the natty. But
yeah, you're greedy. Okay,
yeah, I'm greedy.
We all greedy here. We all trying to eat here.
And then huge shout out to Ole Miss for fending off Florida.
Yeah, that game was gonna be interesting. Just Florida and Kentucky just match up well with Ole Miss, and they just have matchups that will give Ole Miss issues. But yeah, Ole Miss was able to pull away in the fourth quarter, get a stop, and then put some distance between and stick with that one loss that they have to y'all in the conference. Virginia whooping Duke was one that I had seen. I mean, it didn't look like Virginia could score the last few weeks, and then all of a sudden
they like to score.
They like to score. Yeah, so 34-17 on that one. And
huge shout out to your North Texas Green Wave, dude. They ranked.
It's the mean green.
The mean green, whatever.
The green wave is Tulane.
Oh. I got so excited. That's right. Hey, look, North Texas is ranked now.
Yeah, we're ranked and we're looking good. If we continue to take care of business, we might find ourselves in the playoff as that team.
Yeah, right, number 12, dog.
Yeah,
right, you're ready. Y'all ready? Now, when I saw that, I was pretty excited for you. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
You know, my alma mater will never get there, but maybe one year, like maybe on down the road, when we become a Division I college.
Oh boy. There was one more. Yeah, we give Notre Dame some credit too, because they came in there and just housed Pittsburgh. College game day.
College game day.
Yeah. And Notre Dame just said, "Who cares? We're here and we're gonna smash y'all." So what's up with that? The college football playoff rankings, I think they are being unveiled as we speak. So we'll come back and touch on those when they are unveiled or revealed. But let's get to these other games, Patrick. And look, from last week, I was down there very excited to see how we were going to do against y'all. And the answer is horribly.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there's 4 quarters in a game. Unfortunately for y'all, unfortunately for y'all. I mean, dude, we scored. Look, we sit and watch that game, bro. We sit and watch that game, and y'all there was 2 drives that you just shot yourself in the foot. One on offense, you went backwards for 30 yards. And then in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, y'all had that jump off sides and kept us the ball, and we ended up scoring on it. And then
I think the game turned on that, truthfully. Aaron says, unfortunately, there are 4 quarters in a game instead of 9 thirds. Love it.
But that onside kick was just, a stolen possession. Just, you could see everybody in Texas was just like, ugh.
We were deflated.
And Sark even said it in an interview. Kirby is going to do something. And he still wasn't ready for it. And I was like, well, what can you say? But you said it. You said it before you left. Y'all got outcoached. And that's what it boiled down to. Y'all are not. It's not that Georgia's just that much better on the field than anybody in the SEC. It's not that you're just that much better. It's just at that point, I feel Sark needs to start realizing he needs some more eyes on the offense. Get an OC. That to me is like that right there will fix a majority of his problems. Because like you said, even Sark tends to go with plan A, and he keeps using plan A until the game's over, and then he realizes he should have went to plan B. And Sark, he's a great coach. Don't get me wrong, great coach. I think he'll do big things in Texas, but at a certain point, you got to know that you are detrimental to the team when you're trying to do 2 things.
Yeah, so the play calling and the X's and O's and the execution and the out coaching was definitely all factors in y'all pulling away in the fourth quarter. What I think more than anything, I guess, just thinking about it out a few days after the game. The one thing about y'all in particular is, number one, y'all have kind of been the standard in the SEC for the last few years. Number one. Number two, if the standard is, you're right, this year we are, Aaron, all had it, no cattle. You're right. There is no steak and potatoes with us. But when Georgia's gonna put you, I mean, you remember we were watching the last week's college football playoff show, and Booger McFarland had said Georgia's gonna put you in the phone booth and you're gonna have to fight in that phone booth.
Yep.
And until we get to that point, which is, that's a mentality.
Yep.
We have to have that mentality of when we play Georgia, and I mean, I guess the whole SEC, because the SEC is tough. There's a lot of grit there, and you're going to have to win a lot of phone booth games, but especially with Georgia, especially. And until we get that mindset about us that says we're going, particularly if we're going between the hedges, y'all aren't going anywhere. Y'all are playing 60 minutes and if have to 10 overtimes. Y'all are going to be there, and y'all are going to punch back. If y'all get punched, y'all going to punch back. We got the field goal to take the lead early. Y'all came back, 14 unanswered points. It was 14-3. We come out, we get an interception with Anthony Hill, and then we get that we get the touchdown to make it 14-10. Offsides penalty on Colin Simmons killed our momentum. Y'all got a chance, scored touchdown, onside kick hits, and now we're just eating punches at that point. We were dejected, we were deflated, and you could just see the wind just go out of the sails. That's a game with y'all, like, because y'all are going to be there every step of the way. And if we're not ready to eat those punches, because we're going to get punched. I mean, it's an SEC game. You're going to eat some punches, no doubt about it. But in eating those punches, you just have to take them and then throw some punches back and continue to fight. I just think when it comes to playing y'all, I know we had the overtime game in the SEC championship last year, but in the other two games in the regular season, first one in Austin, of course, this one in Athens, we took some punches and we didn't respond well. And so we're going to have to get that mentality up if we're ever going to beat y'all in particular. And I know you're trying to build a team to beat everybody in the SEC and in the nation, but particularly against y'all, if we're not ready to get into that phone booth, man, we're not going to win.
Well, I will say this. If you build a team, and I'm not saying Sark needs to go out and build a team just to beat Georgia.
Right.
But I will say this. If you build a team to beat Georgia, there is a good chance you can beat a lot of teams with that team. But it boils down to this. Whenever you play a Georgia team, especially a Georgia team in November, like this is Kirby Smart's, like, this is his month right here. And it's very rare that we lose. I mean, look, dude, we're 52-2 at home.
In the last,
you know what I mean? Under Kirby Smart, we're 52-2. You know what I mean? So, and I think we took a loss to Ole Miss, and I think we took a loss to Alabama. I think that's our two. And Alabama was this year, and that was our first loss in 44 games, dude. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're coming in to a game against anybody in the SEC, Georgia, Alabama, Vandy at this point, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I mean, Mississippi State, even though they're having a rough year this year, but man, look,
it's tough to win.
They're tough to beat. You know what I mean? It boils down to two things. Don't kill yourself while you're out there playing. One, you gotta stay clean. I mean, Texas had 9 penalties for 88 yards.
Yeah, we were very undisciplined.
Yeah, and we had 1 penalty for 15. And to be honest with you, that wasn't a pass interference. That was a holding. It should have been 1 penalty for 5, maybe 10, depending on whatever. But we were disciplined. We were far more disciplined. But here's the key: it boils down to execution. Your team, Georgia, is not 25 points better than Texas. They're not. But it does boil down to execution. Texas has played Georgia for three times in a 12-month calendar year, right? Y'all have only ran for 83 yards. That's you can't do that. You're not going to win rushing for 83 yards against a team, and you've seen them 3 times. By the time you've seen them the 3rd time, you should have executed that 160 plus yards for rushing.
And that's what I mean with the physicality. Like, I mean, it's phone booth.
Now, I will say this because it's time to move on to Oklahoma, Alabama. We say the same thing about Alabama. Alabama was not physical in that game at all. Oklahoma came out with a better game plan on defense, and Alabama, and we're starting to realize one thing about Ty Simpson. One thing, look, dude, he's not as good as everybody's advertising him. He hasn't. He takes care of the ball when he's throwing, but do you realize he's had 5 fumbles in the past 5 games? 1 fumble each game for the past 5 games. That's all, dude. Rush the guy, make him uncomfortable. He's going to fumble. I mean, we're starting to see that was made. I mean, like embarrassingly relevant against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, dude. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Oklahoma wasn't hit with like 75-80% blitzing during that game.
Aaron is good to get a Cardinals comment in there at some point. I did see it. And look, you know what, Aaron, I'm so glad that we beat y'all. Thanks for those penalties, by the way.
Jesus.
Yeah, the Cardinals are pretty bad at that game.
I didn't even think that was possible. In one game, did it go into like four overtime? Well, you can't go into 4 overtimes in the NFL. You only get 1.
Yeah.
So 17 penalties in regulation?
Yeah, the Cardinals were bad. Yeah, a la well, Patrick, you set the stage for us to talk about that Oklahoma-Alabama contest, and well, like what we were talking about with the undisciplined nature, sometimes you just have to play the cleaner game. And the cleaner game is, well, the main stat you see that in is turnovers. Penalties is another one as well, but turnovers especially. And Oklahoma didn't turn the ball over. Alabama had 3 that I even remember. I know they had
3 in the first half, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I think they had 4 total, including the fumble that Simpson had.
So cleaner football on top of dominating the line of scrimmage, because Oklahoma was winning the battle on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And
they were so much more physical.
They were. And so I'm coming on here. Y'all know this is painful and sickening, really, to give the Sooners credit. But when you have back-to-back wins in Knoxville during the blackout for Tennessee, and then come to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama, who was number 4 coming into this game, you have to tip your cap to Brent Venables and his staff and those players for just having, because that takes some toughness too. That takes that grit. You don't just roll into those 2 environments and come out with wins like that. Same thing that happened against Tennessee. Oklahoma played the cleaner game. Tennessee was dominating that game. And then they got a strip fumble on Joey Aguilar and was able to take it to the house, and the game flipped. And you had these Alabama interceptions. Like you said, you put some pressure on Ty Simpson, which I would say, going back, even though they won the game against y'all, remember, y'all shut them out in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
we were just too far of a deficit to overcome, and they were beating us on the edge. Really. I mean, they were a little bit of a faster team than us that night.
Yeah, and so once you start to see trends develop during the course of the season, and Oklahoma just had a plan. Hey, we're gonna bring more pressure toward Ty Simpson, force him into some turnovers, be physical with those receivers, and which Alabama has some good receivers, but Oklahoma had that Georgia defense and maybe Alabama defense with Nick Saban, where those corners were sticky. Those corners are sticky, and those receivers, whoever it is, you have to be able, going back to the whole phone booth thing, you have to be able to make tight, contested catches. There's going to be a little bit of holding. There's going to be a little bit of grabbing. There's going to be a little bit of bumping. And as a receiver, you have to be able to fight through that and make plays, or you're going to lose. And Bama, with those of that, like that last play where Ty Simpson tried to hit Ryan Williams, and Oklahoma DB was on it. Like, I mean, he was all over the place. Alabama trying to scream for a penalty. There was no penalty there. It was good, solid, tough coverage. And so you have to give the Sooners credit. And now, all of a sudden, if the Sooners beat Missouri this week and then LSU, they're looking good to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We'll see where the rankings have them, but they were already number 11 coming into last week. So they're going to move up. And they're sitting.
Especially after that beat. Yeah. I mean, and it looks like Alabama, I mean, they've got Alabama, and I know this is the AP, but they got Alabama in 10th now.
Yeah, knocked them down 6 spots.
Yeah. 6 spots, and and I'll sit here and say it again, like, Alabama has to lose to Auburn. But see, here's the thing is Alabama has they can't afford to lose another game, because then they'll be out. Right? Yeah. So they have to beat Auburn. So we're not getting in the SEC championship game. There's no way. Right? And I mean, I would assume we're going to move to 4. I think that's a safe assumption. I don't think we're going to, even with South Carolina in the A&M game. I mean, I don't think you drop A&M, even though they struggled with South Carolina. And in that game, that was just a game of like execution again. You know what I mean? Look, Texas A&M couldn't execute on worth shit in the first half, but the second half, all they did was the same exact stuff. They just caught the ball. So I mean, to me, I don't think you dropped them. And Ohio State and Indiana took care of business. But man, I think a lot of people are forgetting, like, Georgia, all we have to do is maintain serve. We're good where we're at. We're not going to play in an SEC championship. Chances are we're going to get a bye week, because Alabama has to play Texas A&M, and Alabama can't lose that game either, right? So if Alabama loses that game, Texas A&M is going to drop, and Ohio State and Indiana still got to play each other. That's the one people forget. They got to play each other. So one of them is going to drop. Now, the question is how far they drop. That's the big question. But, dude, all we got to do is beat. Who are we playing tonight? Who are we playing? Don't matter. All we got is Georgia Tech left.
It's y'all tune-up game against Charlotte this year.
Yeah, Charlotte. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, while we're, I guess, listen, we'll touch on the rankings here in a little bit. But before we do, let's bring up these standings from the Bubba Sports Pickup Challenge. And
oh God.
So there was our records, 3 and 4 for you, Patrick, and 2 and 5 for me. So we had the bonus game, which was that Texas-Georgia game, and that's what gave you the nod. The other games, let's see, Notre Dame and Pittsburgh, we got that one right. South Florida and Navy, no, we did not get that one right. We didn't get Arizona, Cincinnati right. We didn't get Oklahoma and Bama right. Both of us had Bama winning that game. Both of us had Duke beating Virginia. That didn't happen. And then we got Iowa and USC right. We both did have USC winning that one. So the records are right there for you from last week. 3 and 4 for you, 2 and 5 for me, and then you have a 5-game lead in the overall standings. 38 and 23. I'm 33 and 28. So let's get to this week's.
So okay. So here's the question: who goes first? Because technically,
you go first, Patrick. Because you won the week.
I won the week. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right, so are we ready? You ready?
Yes.
We're gonna start here, and dude, this is going to be an exciting game. I can tell you right now. You ready? Louisville and SMU, dude.
Yeah, I got you.
Woo! Is that going to be a good game? And to be honest with you, so I'm sitting here looking at it, and dude, Jennings is a better quarterback. I mean, would we could agree that Harding is probably the better running back as well.
Yeah.
Man, dude, Louisville, what are they ranked 20th? They're about to be unranked, dog. I'm going SMU. I'm going SMU. I think that offense for SMU is just so much better. Their wide receivers are faster than their corners. I'm going SMU, and I will go. I'll go SMU 30-28.
All right. So you going SMU?
We'll bring that back, Aaron. We'll bring that back. I know y'all loved it.
No, we're not.
I know everybody loved it.
You're not. No.
Dude, did you not see the comments, Charles? Everybody loved the shoulder view.
It didn't, dude. They were saying we were in prison. You were telling us to do crazy things to each other. No, Aaron. Aaron, shoulder camera view, not coming back. No. What was your final?
Aaron, I'll talk him into
it. No. 30-28 was your final score.
Yeah, actually, make it 31-28.
All right, 31-28.
31-28.
Okay. I don't have much to add to that. I think SMU is the better team. I think Louisville is kind of in a tailspin right now. They've had two tough losses. One to California, and then they lost to Clemson last week. Now they're coming down to SMU. I think SMU is starting to just peak. They had a slow beginning. Had a tough overtime loss to Baylor. They had a pretty bad performance against Wake Forest as well. But after that win, the overtime win over Miami, I think they found their footing, and I think they'll have a little bit too much. Oh, excuse me. I think they'll have a little bit too much for Louisville in this game. I do think it'll be a little bit lower scoring, though. I'll go. So I'm going SMU here. We'll go 20. This is like some sort of crazy score. I'm going to go 29-17.
Oh, you got a solid win.
Yeah, I think SMU is going to win solidly. I think they're coming together at the right time, and Louisville's going in the other direction. I think when it's all said and done, they'll pull away. One of those games where it is close. I think Louisville will be able to keep it close, but then SMU will pull away in the fourth quarter. Aaron says there's a D3 football game that ended 5-0. I have to check because I've been getting some D3 updates in my YouTube channel, and I think they're about to start the playoffs too. So they actually got that bracket that is set. I didn't 5-0. Goodness, a straight baseball score. My gosh.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Well,
two home runs.
I know, right? Well, Patrick, let's go here for the second game. I'm gonna go to. This one could be interesting. Let's go Kentucky and Vanderbilt here. I think because Kentucky's been starting to play a little bit well, and they've been able to score the ball a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But
with this game being in Nashville, and Vanderbilt still there. They're still in the running. They have the two losses to Bama and to Texas. So they still have a shot to get into that college football mix too, or the playoff mix as well. I don't really see Kentucky coming in there. I think they'll play well, but I think Vanderbilt, Pavia will make enough plays and they'll be able to get the running game going with Alexander. And then I don't know if Kentucky's offense can be consistent enough to keep up. So I got a solid win for Vanderbilt here, even though I wouldn't be surprised to see Kentucky win this game. But in Nashville, I think Vanderbilt has this, man. So I'm going to go Vandy by the score of 26-20.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I think Vandy is just a tough team to beat at home, and I know Kentucky likes to sometimes play spoiler and see who they can knock out at the end of the season. They've done us a couple of times that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think there's just too much Pavia. Too much Pavia running the ball, too much Pavia throwing the ball, and he's been very consistent in making good choices throughout all of his games. You probably see Stowers probably catch a couple of touchdowns, rollouts. You know how he rolls out to the right, puts that ball right there where only he can catch it, kind of thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Vandy 27-17.
27-17 for Vandy. All right, man. What's your next game?
So let's go over to the Big Ten and make this a interesting pick of USC and Oregon.
I think this is the college game day game too.
This is the college game day. Yep. And man, I look. USC is trying to make a statement to get into the playoffs. I mean they're probably not going to make it in there. It's hard for a 2-loss team anywhere to get in, and I think both of their losses came within conference. So I mean I'm looking at this Oregon team, and I think that they're just. I mean their offense is better, their defense is better. They played I say their offense. USC's offense has been much better in these past 3 weeks, dude. They have thrown up a lot of points, but I think Moore takes care of the ball very well. So I'm gonna go with Oregon. I'm gonna go Oregon, and I'm gonna say, oh God, I think these offenses can score, man. I think these offenses can score, and they can score a lot. I'm gonna go 41-34 Oregon.
Okay, 41. A nice little shootout. 41-34 Oregon. I have Oregon winning the game too. USC. I wonder if they can stay balanced against Oregon. So lately,
especially that defense that Oregon brings.
Yeah, so lately they've been able to stay pretty balanced in these games. Remember, we had picked, I think they were playing Michigan. We both actually had Michigan winning that game, but they were able to pull away and win that pretty handily. And then we picked the game against them and Iowa last week, and they actually came back to win that one. I was playing pretty well. And then they were able to get hot in the fourth quarter. If they fall behind against Oregon, the game can get out of hand, especially up there in Eugene. So I think USC will be able to stay in the game for halftime. And then I think Oregon is just better. Now, can USC go out there and win that game? Yes, I do.
Totally. That offense is high-powered these past weeks. Yes.
Yeah, they can go up there and find a way to win. I just don't see it happening because I don't know if their offense can sustain the balance, and then I don't know if their defense can sustain against what Oregon is bringing on offense. So I think Oregon will win. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring. I do think the defenses will show up a little bit to where it's not getting into the 30s and 40s, but I do think Oregon will get close to the 30s, or maybe they will get 30. I got them winning 31. Yeah, we'll give Oregon 31. 31-23.
Okay.
Yeah, 31-23, Oregon winning that game. And I guess for the next one, let's look at BYU and Cincinnati. So Cincinnati is coming off of a loss to Arizona 30-24, and BYU, I believe, they kind of whooped TCU 44-13. So this game is huge inside the Big 12. The Cincinnati's hopes are on the line here. BYU has the one loss to Texas Tech, so right now they're right there in the mix, like pretty much looking like it could be a rematch between them and Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game. I think BYU is. I think they're playing with a little bit more of that chip on their shoulder because of how Texas Tech whooped them in that game. And I think they'll have a little bit too much for Cincinnati. Although that game is in Cincinnati, I do think Cincinnati will show up and make it a game, but I think BYU will have a little bit too much for them. So I'm going to go BYU. I think this one will be pretty solid, like 34-27.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, Cincinnati has 3 losses, so I mean they're really just playing for pride right now. BYU, on the other hand, they're playing for a position. They're playing for a spot, and I think that they are going to bring it to Cincinnati on Saturday. Man, I mean, I don't know if Cincinnati is even going to be able to keep up with what BYU is going to do. Man, I think they beat them. I think they beat the crap out of them. I'm going to go 34-10.
34-10.
I don't even think Cincinnati is really going to be able to fight it. I think the defense for BYU is going to get after the quarterback. They're going to cause several turnovers. God, I mean, I just think BYU is just going to solidly handle Cincinnati. So what I think, 35-10?
34-10?
34-10. I'll stick with that. 34-10.
All right. Got you locked in. One more game for you.
Aaron. Do I go here?
Where are you trying to go?
No, I'm gonna go Oklahoma, Missouri. I was fixing to go Minnesota, Northwestern, but Oklahoma, Missouri. Woo! Boy, let me tell you. What is Oklahoma gonna do? How did they handle success after they beat Alabama 2 years in a row? Does Venables keep that defense just fired up, or do they get caught sleeping, get caught slacking, get caught with their pants down in prison, and they drop the soap? Do they do it? I do not think so. I think that offense and that defense is going to come ready. Plus, they're playing at home. I'm gonna go Oklahoma. Plus, look now. I will say this about Missouri. Missouri they're not really playing that well here lately. But you know how the SEC is, man. Something like the SEC is like, well, if I'm not going to make it, neither are you. We're greedy and stingy like that. Like, you want to kiss my girlfriend? Well, I'm going to kiss your mom. Kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, Patrick.
Yeah, that's the SEC. Now, I'm going to say this. I do feel Missouri could come in and beat them. I think these two teams match up very well. So I think Venables is going to have to come with a really good game plan, kind of like how he did against Alabama, especially on defense, because, it only takes one play. You saw how South Carolina did Texas A&M in the first half. Well, it only takes one play and gets everybody fired up. You know what I mean? And this Missouri team can do that, and they match up very well against Oklahoma. But I do think Oklahoma handles business and maintains their hopes for a college playoff berth. So I am going to go. I'm going to go 24. I'm going to go 24-19 Oklahoma. Get that weird score.
Yes, that's actually a pretty good score. I was kind of on that wavelength as well. And we are stingy and petty in the SEC.
We are. Dude, the SEC is very petty against each other. Like, we're nice against everybody else, but, man, we are. It's like sibling rivalries, man. We're petty. We are so petty in the SEC.
Yeah, and the question is, how does Oklahoma handle that success? Because really, they have everything in front of them now. I mean, after having those wins
in their own destiny,
after having those wins in Knoxville and in Tuscaloosa, they are everything is out there for them where they can get into the college football playoff. And what you always say, hey, just get in there. You can get in there.
Get my foot in the door.
Yeah. And so, Missouri can come in there and win because, I mean, Missouri does have a good team. They've had some tough losses this year. They lost by literally a half a yard against Vanderbilt on that Hail Mary, had a 3-point loss to Alabama as well. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Now they did get Texas A&M kind of took it to them, but like you said, in the SEC, it's always you always have to bring something close to your A game, or you will get beat in that particular week. So with that said, I'm going to take this. No, I'm just playing. I will take Oklahoma to win this as much as it pains me. I think Oklahoma right now, they're playing really good complementary football. They've been sound on defense. Of course, the defense has probably been the strength. Their special teams has been good, as you call them, Mater. But we're talking about John
Mater, man.
Talking about John Mateer here, and they've been kind of picking it up a little bit on offense. And so I think they'll be able to run the ball a little bit, kind of choke the game out. I really do like your 24-19 score. I think it'll be somewhere around there. But I'll go 23-17 because I was kind of thinking on that wavelength that it was going to be some sort of a mid-20s to high teens game, because Oklahoma just kind of keeps it that way. So I think it'll be 23-17. The Sooners winning this game. And now I guess it's my turn for the last game. Yes. Let's go here, Patrick. We gotta go Duke and UNC.
Oh God.
Yes. Yes, the of course the basketball rivalry. This time it is on the football field. And this is an interesting game, not just because of that rivalry, but because UNC has started to play a little bit better.
They're starting to believe in Bill Belichick, man.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Belichick is finding his footing, and the team, like you said, is starting to hear and listen to what he's trying to build here. And we've seen the first couple months in September and October. I mean, it was really, really, really hot in Chapel Hill, to the point where people were like, what is this charade going on? It is time for him to go. Get him out of here. Don't even let him finish the season. But quietly, the Tar Heels have started to play some pretty good ball. So I think this would be a pretty good game. One of those sneaky games. Of course, there's no college football playoff berths involved here or on the line, but I think this is one of those games that could sneak up and
be really good.
yeah, when you're looking at the highlights, you're just like, wait a minute, this Duke UNC game turned out to be pretty good. I think, yeah, I'll go out on the limb. I think North Carolina can pull this game out. Duke's probably going to score a little bit of points, but that Carolina defense has been playing good too. So I think it'll be something like 20-17 UNC winning this game.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I was kind of expecting you to go Duke, so I was going to go UNC. But let's make the week interesting, because we've agreed on everything. So let's, as Kurt Herbstreit would say, let's save the graphic. I'm gonna go Duke. Well, I mean, dude, I will say this. I think UNC could win. Like you said, their defense is really come a long way, and Bill Belichick, being a defensive-minded coach, is really going to harp on that a lot. I do think that you're going to see a totally different UNC team next year. I don't know if they're going to be competing for an ACC title like that, but I will say he's got them going in the right direction. Especially, I mean, what did they lose? Wake Forest last week, and then they beat Syracuse and
had a tough game with Virginia.
Yeah. So, but I do think there is too much Dookie for UNC. So I'm gonna go Duke. I do like your score, but I'm gonna say Duke takes over in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna go 27-17 Duke.
27-17 Duke. Okay. All right, and so that will conclude this edition of the Bofa Sports Pick'em Challenge. So, quick recap. So the 6 games we have, it is Missouri, Oklahoma. We both have Oklahoma winning. Louisville, SMU. Both have SMU winning. We both have Oregon beating USC. We both have Vanderbilt beating Kentucky. And we both have BYU beating Cincinnati. The one that we disagree on is the Duke UNC game, where you have Duke and I have North Carolina. So, before we get into the NFL, so those rankings that came out, and I see the top 4 is unchanged. So you still have Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M does stay at 3, and y'all move up to 4.
So it does change. Alabama was 4. We are 4 now.
Yeah. That's right. Yes, you're right. My bad. I forgot. So Georgia moves up to 4. Bama drops to 10. And so you have your other matchups as it stands. It would be Tulane and Texas Tech in your 12-5 matchup. That game would be in Lubbock. Notre Dame and Oklahoma would be your 9-8 matchup, with that game being in Norman. Wow. So Oklahoma moved up 3 spots from their 11 last week. And then Miami and Ole Miss would be in Oxford in your 11-6 matchup. And then Bama dropping to 10 would go to Eugene to play Oregon in your 10-7 matchup. Any thoughts stick out there?
No, I mean, I guess the question, I guess the only question I would be is the Texas Tech and Ole Miss. If Ole Miss, the way they got jumped by Texas Tech, is that legit enough? But other than that, man, I mean, in 11, where's Georgia Tech at? Yeah. Where's Georgia Tech at? Come on, dude! Like what the hell?
They got to do everything they can to keep Miami in there. It seems like
it's like they're fighting for that. I mean, and Georgia Tech has a better schedule, had a better record. I would say that would probably be the most disappointing part of it. Would be Miami is still in there above Georgia Tech, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Man, hey, where's my mean green at? Tulane, really? Man, look, and Tulane has been playing. Tulane has played well. I guess it's that win they had over Memphis that keeps them in there. Where's my mean green at?
I know, right? You made it into the AP, but you didn't make it into the playoff.
Well, it'll work itself out.
It'll work itself out. I mean, look, Missouri's going to lose. Arizona State might lose. So, yeah, you'll be good. You'll be good. You'll be in there next week.
And where? Let me see. Where? How far did we drop?
To 17.
Okay, so we dropped to 17. So yeah, USC, like you said, yeah, USC they're gonna lose. We think they'll lose to Oregon. Miami, I just think they'll just catch a loss on principle somewhere.
Yeah.
And the Georgia Tech, it'll be a tough one. I know that's.
Unfortunately, you might be missing the playoffs this year.
Yeah. It does not look good now. If we are able to beat Texas A&M, I guess that gives us a shot.
That'd give you a shot, but I don't know how far they would move you up. I mean, it would depend on how far they move up, how far you move up this week.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot.
You need some help. You need a lot of help. You need
you
need several of those teams to take an L, and I don't see a lot of those. Maybe Miami might take an L. USC probably going to take an L. Other than that, man, anybody else that takes an L is not going to help you out.
Yep. Well, let's get into the NFL a little bit. So what caught your eye from the NFL this week or last week? Hey, Aaron, for you, your boy AA Ron Rodgers, he hurt his wrist, hurt his non-throwing wrist a little bit. So
what's the problem?
Yeah.
It's not throwing wrist.
It's not his throwing wrist. But hey, look, I just want to see if there was some cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper comment.
Yeah. Coming from Aaron. We'll see. We'll see
if he catches it. We'll see if he catches that. But hey, man, my Falcons' fault. But they lost again to the Panthers. So I think it's safe to say that we will probably not make the playoffs this year.
You know what? So look, Patrick, I'm doing this at the risk of you ranting. All right. So when I ask this question, I don't mean for you to rant, but what changes need to happen in Atlanta? It just seems like y'all are at this.
Okay. Dude, I gotta go. And this is an answer that won't even lead into a rant. Here's my problem with Atlanta. We spend $180 million for a quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and we go and draft Penix, number 10 in the first round, right? Or second round. Was the first round. Okay.
Yep, first.
Right. We draft this, and we pick up Kirk Cousins so that we don't have a quarterback issue. What the hell do we have right now?
You got a quarterback issue.
We got a quarterback issue. This is my problem with Atlanta. They like to overspend for things we don't need. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we need a quarterback. But you telling me that Kirk Cousins is your best option for $180 million? I doubt that. You see what I'm saying? I agree 100% with the pickup of Penix. 100%. But here's my next problem. We spent too much money on a quarterback that is not good, and we don't need. We need another quarterback, somebody to fill in for Penix when he's out. But instead, we spend all of our money there, and we spent no money on our offensive line. So you're going to dish out all of this money for a quarterback, and you can't even protect it. It's like, let me go buy a Ferrari, but I'm not going to get gap insurance. What? Like, that's the first thing I'm buying is gap insurance. You think I want to buy a Ferrari and not have it insured so in case something happens? It's not me that I have a problem with. It's everybody else. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here looking at this for Atlanta, and I'm like, why are y'all spending so much money on things like that, and you don't even buy something to protect it? Get Penix. Get a lesser name of a quarterback. That's what you do. I mean, they're not supposed to start for you. You get a lesser name in a quarterback, spend $75, $80 million instead of $180, and you go beef up your offensive line so that you don't have to worry about that 10th round draft pick going down because his finger got injured between two helmets. Atlanta has a upper office problem, not a problem on the field, upper office problem, and they do not know what they're drafting, and that's where we're having our problems. There you go.
Yeah, it just seems like, because there's some teams that we discuss, and the Falcons would be one of those teams where even at their peak, even when they are somewhat good, of course, we know they had the Super Bowl year, but that notwithstanding, they're always teetering around that 7, 8, 9 win total, and they have changed coaches over time. I mean, I didn't, bringing Raheem Morris out there. There's some, how we'll sit there and we'll look at some players, and after a while, they're just those dudes who are that you'll see some flashes of brilliance, but overall, they're going to be around average, above average. It seems like Raheem Morris is that type of coach. I don't think he's going to be the guy who's going to really bring you to new levels.
There's no emotion.
Yeah.
He just said with his arms crossed. Now, I thought this was a great hire at first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen the guy talk outside of a press conference.
Yeah.
Like every coach has something. Like Pete Carroll. I mean, I pray for the gum that he chews on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dear Jesus, Lord, that gum, because man, let me tell you. I mean, dude, I'm like, dear Lord, we come together, we pray for that gum, because that gum is getting murked out there. You know what I mean? But
the Raiders might need Jesus right now, because the Raiders are in trouble.
Well, you know what? I will say this on the Cowboys. Head coach for the Cowboys, I can't think of his name right now.
Schottenheimer. It's Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah. He took his 2 wide receivers out, and he let them. Dude, I don't think that was a punishment. I think he wanted them to look and say, this is what our offense operates when you're not in. And I want you to see that from where I sit. Look at what I'm having to look at on the field. So when you're not out there, when you're not playing at your best, when you're not showing up on the field for Dak or whatever, this is what I have to look at on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis when you don't show up. I want you to pay attention to that. Because when they got out there on that second drive, it was lights out. Dude, if that's what it takes, good call. Good freaking call. Because I've said this many times, many times. Dallas Cowboys put one of the best teams on the field, hands down. But as long as the Joneses own it, they'll never win another Super Bowl. That is my statement. I'm sticking true to that. But man, if that's what it takes to get Dallas to move, wow. They probably hired a good coach at this point. Now, obviously, we still got to see if Jerry Jones is going to keep his nose out of it. But, from what I saw last night, good call. Good call. I applaud you for making that call and sitting down. Was it Lamb
and Pickens?
Pickens. So, look, if that's what it takes, do it. Hell, more teams need to do that. Do it. Because that was phenomenal performance that Pickens and Lamb put on last night. I mean, dude, they had over 220 passing yards combined with 3 touchdowns. It's amazing. Good for them.
Yeah, and look, y'all know I lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area before coming to DC, and I can tell you that just around that area where the Cowboys practice facility is, and you see it during the games, it's a culture of entitlement. And so if you are a Cowboys player, you basically have everything right there at your feet. And so if you have that, playing for the most valuable franchise in sports, You have all this stuff that is basically right there at your doorstep. And when you get that, sometimes what happens is you become entitled, you become spoiled, and you think you can just do whatever just because you wear the star on your helmet. And so if that is what Schottenheimer is bringing, is a little bit of a brand of a discipline to say, hey, listen, there's some things that need to be followed. There's some rules, some guidelines that need to be followed. And if you're not going to follow them, then we'll do this. We'll sit you for the first drive, take away some of that playing time. Like you said, it's not necessarily a punishment, but it is a get
look through my eyes.
Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, look through my eyes and see what I have to see, because this is painful to watch.
Yep.
And then now picture the hundreds of thousands of fans that pay to watch you play, and
them Cowboys prices ain't.
And so, to me, look, I thought it was a great call. For a coach to say no, it's going to be done this way. I applaud you for going against Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones was probably like, put them boys out there. I ain't got time to have a bad time.
Maybe if they weren't playing in Las Vegas, he might have said something. But he's probably too busy partying. He's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's probably drunk.
So, credit to the Broncos. They beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, dude. And defense. Wow.
And I loved how Denver attacked Patrick Mahomes on that last drive. They blitzed, they brought corners, they brought safeties. How many times, Patrick, have we seen defenses play against the Chiefs with 2 minutes or 3 minutes left in the game, and they sit back in this 3-4 man rush and try
that 2-9 rush where they only see 2 and have 9 in the back?
Yes.
Mahomes picks it apart.
Exactly. Denver came after him and got a sack. Go figure. Jeez. And what a wonder what can happen if you go ahead and play aggressively. But Denver was able to get that back. And Bo Nix, what we talked about, Patrick, you don't necessarily have to be an elite quarterback. You just have to be elite at the times when you were needed. And Bo Nix was able to make some crucial throws there to get them in the field goal range and win that game 22-19. So,
and you have to look at it from when we say you don't have to be elite. Bo Nix did not throw one touchdown in this game. Not one. But he also didn't throw any interceptions either. So, with that being said, we're not saying that you have to be elite on every single play. We're just saying be elite when you need to be it, take care of the ball, and good things can happen. And now we're sitting here looking at the Kansas City Chiefs that may not even make the playoffs.
They're in trouble. They are sitting in 5-5, and so are the Baltimore Ravens. The only thing with the Ravens, though, is they're only a game behind the Steelers in the AFC North, and they also have 2 meetings coming up still with Pittsburgh. It looks like Baltimore is starting to come together. They had a tough game, but that's always a tough game to go to Cleveland for them. Division game, I knew Cleveland was going to give them a battle, but Baltimore made the plays when they had to have them, and they're sitting at 5-5, still sitting in a good spot.
Yeah, Cleveland had the lead at half.
They did. Yeah, Cleveland was leading for most of that game. But the Chiefs, on the other hand, they are 5-5. You got the Broncos at 9-2 with a game against them. So that's basically another half game in essence that you can throw there.
Now Broncos do have to travel to Kansas City and get a game there. But
I mean, they're pretty. Like they don't have to worry about Kansas City. I mean, they're
pretty. I mean, there's a good chance they're going to win their division.
Yep, and then they still, I mean, the Chiefs will still have to leapfrog the Chargers as well. And both of those teams, both the Broncos and Chargers, have beaten the Chiefs. So, so both of them, like you said, they do have to come to Kansas City later. But the Chiefs have a game coming up this week with the Colts. And that could be pretty interesting there, too. We'll see what the Colts are made of.
And Buffalo looks like they're starting to get it back together.
Yeah, so Buffalo, look, it's been a kind of a weird season. I mean, they got housed in Miami, and apparently Miami has found the field a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, look, they're not a house of cards anymore.
yeah,
They're more like a house of cardboard. Not
straw.
easily blowed over, but a little bit of rain
Straw.
might hurt them.
Straw, like the first house for the Three Little Pigs. What was it? Straw, wood, and then brick. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, we went from we'll go from cards to straw. We'll go to cards to straw. Well, because I mean, it looks like they're finding their way through, and they're winning dirty games, man. I got to give the Dolphins credit. They're winning dirty games.
Yes.
So I mean, between man, I don't know. It was a pretty solid week. Looking at it, I mean, Texans took care of business. Titans really played them actually pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are like looking pretty solid right now, and
they're finding ways to win.
they're finding ways to win. Yeah. And then the Rams, I think the Rams are taking your motto, survive in advance, survive in advance, survive in advance, because that is literally what they are doing, surviving and advancing.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, they do have a Georgia Bulldog quarterback who is used to that shit. I'm just saying.
Oh, you don't say. Yeah.
But is it Georgia Bulldog too?
You don't say. But the NFL, particularly in this year, is one of those. That's basically what it's going to take is to survive in advance, because that talent pool is pretty. There's a lot of parity in the NFL, and so the difference is going to be a few plays. You look at the Super Bowl teams from last year, the Chiefs and of course the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are still making those plays, so now they're at 8-2 because they've been able to make those plays more often than not and win these games, grind them out, not look pretty, but they're able to. I mean, they beat Detroit 16-9. So I mean, you just like you said, survive in advance. The Chiefs, on the other hand, remember last year they were something like 12-0 in one-score games last year. They're 0-5 in these games this year, and sometimes it just takes. It's a play here, play there. Chiefs were making those plays last year. This year they're not, and now they're sitting at 500. Right now they would be out of the playoffs, and they don't have any of the tiebreakers really in their favor. The Bills beat them, and then these are the wild card teams as it sits right now. The Bills have beaten them. The Jags have beaten them. I had to look at the picture a little bit more. I don't know if the Jags are like the last team in right now, but the Jags have a victory over the Chiefs. So if it was one of those things, the Chargers, they got a victory over the Chiefs as well. So none of the tiebreakers are in the Chiefs' favor. So not only do they need to take care of their business, which they have a game coming up against the Colts, they got to get some help. I mean, they're not in a good spot, and I think it's a real conversation now that like you said, the Chiefs. They could be in danger of not making the playoffs. Now, I'm still confident the Chiefs will do enough to get in the playoffs and a lot of it is I don't know how good the Jags are going to be going down the stretch. The Chargers, I mean, Jacksonville took it to them, and I don't know how consistent the Chargers will be. So I still
feel that Pittsburgh. That's
I think Pittsburgh.
Aaron is falling.
I think Pittsburgh will probably fall apart still too, but maybe not. We'll see. Mike Tomlin has a way of getting the Steelers in the playoffs too. Yeah, and so the Chiefs are gonna have to, for the first time in a while, they're gonna have to have some things actually fall their way instead of having things in their own destiny. And man, if they lose against a good Colts team with that running attack with Jonathan Taylor, they lose at home. Interesting time.
I think that will be the backbreaker. Look, to be honest with you, I don't see the Chiefs getting in with one more loss, because at that point, I think everybody's going to start smelling blood. It might be in the water. Taylor Swift might divorce Kelsey. I mean, I could see her going to Denver and dating Bo Nix at this point.
Yeah. So, Patrick, before we get out, what is up? What is up with players just spitting on other players now? I know
that's disgusting.
It's gross. Look, and look, listen.
And for what? Like for what?
So I know if
you're not even in the playoff hunt.
So I know if you get into the world of fetishes, there are people who don't mind being spat on. This isn't one of these times, though.
Dude, I'd have punched him right in the dick.
This is so look. This is where this is where like on the field, you're sitting here like that. In most circles, like this, it's gross. And it is one of the most disrespectful things you can do to somebody, especially out here on the football field. What Jamar Chase did, and he's over here, he's trying to appeal. But take this pretty clear, man. Like you,
yeah. Dude, I am so about punishment that hurts people. Look, one of the things I've learned in my time, you can't hurt people with what you can't smack them on the hand, blah, 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 whatever. There's two things you can take away from a person. You take away his time, you take away his money. Take those two things away and then people start squirming. This is as simple as this. Who did he spit on?
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. Okay, first of all, yes, eject Jalen Ramsey. Fair enough, right? You suspend Chase for 17 games without pay.
the whole season?
Yep. See if he does that crap again. Like you suspend him without pay and see how much he keeps that spit in his mouth then. That's just disgusting. Like you got to do something extreme to get these people to stop spitting. That's just disrespectful and disgusting.
It's bad. And Jalen Carter did the same thing in week 1 to Dak Prescott. And, I think at the very least, if that is going to be going on, I don't know if a game is enough. I think because that's what Jalen Carter got. And basically Jalen Carter, because it was so early in the game, they threw him out. And they said, well, that's his 1 game suspension. So he was able to come back the next week. I think when stuff like that happens, that's got to be at least 4 or 5 years, at least, if not the season.
And then you fine him $15 million.
Yeah, you got to hit him with a big fine as well. Hit him with something. But because like you said, the punishment, if that is going to happen, the main thing that has to be accountable is the respect factor.
Yeah,
you can't go out here doing that. I mean, you have all these penalties for celebration penalties. I mean, that right there, it's just straight disrespect. And I sat there when I was looking at the replay. Well, I didn't see one of the clearer shots that showed Jamar Chase actually doing that, but it was just
I got a close up and he went.
So that one, yeah,
right.
I saw it. Did you see it live though? That is the thing. Like, did you see it like right away? Because that shot, me personally, I didn't see that shot right away. What I did see was the way Jalen Ramsey just kind of put his head down and then he reacted. So when I saw that part, I said, I think Jamar Chase probably spat on him. I don't think Jalen Ramsey would have made that reaction or had that reaction if that wasn't the case. And then I saw that clear one that you were talking about where I was like, yeah, okay. Like Jamar Chase is lucky Jalen Ramsey didn't do more.
Yeah. And to be honest, look, everybody, we understand. AI is phenomenal. We get it. We know. But just knowing the background of these two, and I mean, look, I don't know him personally, but Jamar Chase is that type of person. Like he is that type of person. You can see it ever since I've watched him in college, dude. He's just that type of person. You know what I mean? So, and Ramsey has no. I was surprised he didn't react even worse. Like I told you, I would have cleated him in his ball sack. I would have been suspended for 1 game. That's it. Let me kick him again because I'm good for 5.
You get your money's worth.
I get my money's worth. I'm going to take my helmet off and I'm hitting with it. Dude, he will not spit on somebody again. I promise you that. Then I'll go out and key his car.
You can key his car. So, Patrick, before we wrap up, what is coming up for Bro Epic?
Well, we are on a little bit of a break. We're going to try to get back into it this week, but we may not be getting the rest of season 3 posted out for the next couple weeks. 1, I hurt my ankle again, and 2, we got to get out and get the filming done. But we also have Thanksgiving coming up, so we're going to try to get a lot of filming in, and maybe I can get it scheduled for posting. But I will say this: we are going to do some parkour tag. Yeah, on a playground. Nonetheless, we're going to do it on a playground because we don't have parkour obstacles here. So we're going to be running up and down slides and everything like that. So it's going to be pretty fun. And then we're going to bring back a few other games, and we're going to put a few little twists to it and finish up season 3. We're going to try to get these families around after Thanksgiving, try to get them to do one parents versus kids kickball. But it's hard to get everybody riled up for it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and bad job by me because I didn't get to ask you that last week as we were over here dealing with the shoulder shots and everything else. So.
Well, we were on Thursdays. You don't ask on Thursdays. You only ask on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's true. So you mentioned Thanksgiving coming up. So I will say this: for the rest of this year, just bear with us, all right? Because I don't know. And I mean, we don't know how that schedule is going to look. We're basically going to play it week to week basis from here on out, probably going up until the 1st of next year. So you may see some random shows, you may see some random shorties. And I'm only saying that because I don't really know what the schedule is going to be until I actually get there. So look, Patrick and I, we will talk about it to see how things are lining up with those schedules. There'll still be a few Tuesday shows. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say we won't do another Tuesday show, but those will probably be around the first and mid part of December. And then, of course, Christmas and New Year's will be coming up, and then it'll be kind of jumbled. So I would just say bear with us as far as the products will go. And then when you see them, then you will get the notification. And of course, we encourage you, as we are wrapping up, that is what we are breathing on for this evening, for this Both for Sports webcast. So make sure y'all visit the Both for Sports YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and follow the Both for Sports Facebook page. And so that way, if we do have these random appearances, ding, y'all will get it.
Ding.
And so,
Bro Epic.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, you get the ding on that too.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody take it easy. We hope you enjoyed the show. Aaron, thanks for tuning in. And everybody take care. Have a great rest of the week. And we will see y'all soon.
And go Dogs.